The following program is brought to you by Johnny's Radiator and More. Family owned and operated for over 45 years. We are more than a radiator shop. Come see what the more is all about. Brakes, alignments, suspension, shocks, struts, tires, lift kits, radiator, AC repair, oil change, water pumps, fuel pumps, and more. Don't forget, Johnny's has a full line of AC parts in stock for all heavy-duty makes and models, logging, farming, construction, and heavy-duty trucks. AC parts specialist with over 35 years experience. Call 870-226-5000 to get an estimate or make an appointment today. Coach, good to be back with you. Season's just kind of flying by at this point. Mercy Rule win over Star City last Friday on homecoming night. Your reflections on the night?
I thought we come out and played very well. Offensively, I thought that Jackson was really on. We were 8 of 9 for 306 yards and 5 touchdowns, and I thought our receivers caught the ball well, made plays after the catch. Didn't run very many plays on offense. I think we ran maybe 15 in the first half, so very efficient. Defensively, we came out. They were in something that we wasn't ready for. They came out and tried to run the veer, the option, and midline, and they had not shown that all year. But that seems like the motto of the year. When we play Warren, let's find something different to run. And I thought our kids did okay. I thought they adjusted well. We were able to hold them. Our first team didn't give up any points, which was always good. Kickoff team was disappointing. We talked about how good they've been doing, and we give up one. We don't put the ball in the right spot. We leave it in the middle of the field, and bad things happen when you do things that you're not supposed to do, and they were able to return one.
I want to go back to Jackson real quick. Named State Farm Player of the Week. He looks to really be settling in to me. Could you talk about his progress so far this season?
Yeah, no doubt. He's getting better each week. I think he's understanding each week. He's really like a sophomore playing since he missed last year, but and then he played as a ninth grader, but a year off, it hurts. But I think he's playing really well right now. I think he's throwing the ball extremely well. When he makes the right read, he is really good. When he has a sense of urgency, which we talk about all the time, he does a really good job of getting back there and getting rid of the ball. And the only time that he really gets in a bind is when he tries to do it before when he tries to figure out who he's throwing to before the ball snapped. And people's going to give us different looks. They're going to try to roll coverages. They're going to try to do this. And I think he did a really good job the other night of it was man coverage, and he knew by the look who he was going to. And when they do that, he is really good.
I want to move on ahead to this week. Obviously, this looks like this conference is a little stronger this year, and doesn't get any easier this Friday. Stuttgart on the road at that. What do you expect out of the Ricebirds?
Yeah, our conference is really tough. You look at it, and we're very familiar with Stuttgart. We're probably one of the few teams in our conference that is familiar with them. We've played them every year since I guess 2012. And then before that, I think we played them in 01 or 2000, 2001, and then like in the late 6, 7, 8, 9, somewhere in there. But very familiar, tough place to play. The wind always seems to blow there, and especially this time of year. And they're really good. They got tradition. They're 7-0. They're still playing for a conference championship, and they're real dynamic. They had really 2 good junior high groups in a row. They're in the same situation at quarterback that we are. They got Kane Price, who's the coach's son. He started as a ninth grader. This is his 3rd year starting. And it's going to be a tough test for us. I know that our kids are going to come out. We've had a good week of practice. I know I keep saying this like a broken record, but we continue to get better. I think we will continue to get better. When you're playing with so much inexperience that we are, I think that's what you're seeing. I think you're seeing us get better each week, and then even the Hamburg game, I thought we did some things that were good. There were some things that we did really, really bad, and that's the things that we got to be ready for. And I know Stuttgart's going to come out. They're going to try to run 2 tights like Hamburg did. They're going to try to do some of the same stuff that Hamburg does because I know Coach Price pretty well, and I'm anxious to see how we fit it better. I'm anxious to see if we learned anything from that game and see how good our defense does.
What's been your message to your team this week? Has it been opportunity, chance to go out and get a big win?
No, not really. I mean, they understand. Our backs are against the wall. I mean, we're trying to host a home playoff game. You got to finish in the top 3 seeds to do that. We're kind of behind the 8 ball a little bit as far as getting the 1 seed. So, our guys understand that we can still have a lot of football to play. We can still get a lot better. Defensively, we've got to get better. And that's something that, being out of school this week has helped. A lot of people don't like that. I mean, our kids, they love it here. So we put a lot of time into doing a lot of different things, that we've changed some stuff up. And it's kind of like going back to fall camp a little bit, and hopefully we'll see if it helps or not. It obviously can't hurt us. And, hopefully we'll get faster, play. That's the biggest thing. Our message is to play fast and play physical and then see what happens. And that's what we want to do this week.
I wanted to briefly ask you about fall break. How has that changed your schedule at all? Are you guys coming at the same time? How's that working?
We're here we love it. I mean, I'll be honest with you. We had it last year. I thought we did a lot of things that week. We did it. We love it when it's Thanksgiving week. We love it. Our kids love being out here. We watch a lot of film. I mean, we've been able to do a lot of stuff, put some stuff in defensively that we wouldn't be able to do if we was coming in at 2 o'clock. We get them at 9 o'clock, 9:15, and we leave here about 12:30, 1 o'clock, and our kids would rather not be anywhere else. So we got a great group of kids. I keep saying that over and over and over, and we needed this. I mean, honestly, we needed this. We needed to be able to punch the reset button a little bit, and I think we've been able to do that. And we went back to because when you're sitting there and you're in the midst of a season and you're kind of struggling and you're keeping that same routine of we get them at 2 o'clock or 1:45 and we practice and all of a sudden now it's dark. Well, when you can get them here and you ain't got to be in no hurry. We're going to be here tonight. We're going to lift and we're going to watch film and we're going to have a walkthrough and we might not get on the practice field till 10:30, 11 o'clock. And so, our kids understand that they don't mind it, they enjoy it, and they'd rather be out here than anywhere else.
Well, Coach, thank you for your time. Best of luck Friday. We'll see you at Stuttgart.
All right, thank you.
Well, Coach, good to be back with you. Coming off a high-scoring, unfortunately, loss against Hamburg last Friday, first conference loss of the season. Just give me your initial thoughts on that ball game, wild one.
Yeah, obviously, we were very disappointed in the outcome. Hamburg's a really good football team. They got a really good back. Like I told our kids Sunday night, when we put it behind us, we're moving forward. We didn't watch it. We know we didn't play well. We lived it Friday night, and our biggest deal was let's turn the page and get ready for Star City. We got a lot of football left. If we want a lot of football to be played, we got 4 games left in the regular season, and then whatever we do in the playoffs. But yeah, we didn't play very well. That's it. 3 tough games in a row. Credit to Hamburg, they played well. We didn't. They got the win, and then now we got to move forward to Star City.
Just quickly, what positives can you take away from a game like that as a coach? Obviously you put up a lot of offensive points, but do you just scrap it and move forward? Is that kind of your? That's
what we did. I don't know if that's the right thing to do or not, but offensively we moved the ball. We had close to 700 yards total offense, but that don't matter. It's a team sport. There's been times, the DeWitt game where our defense rose and made plays for our offense. Our offense was struggling. We didn't do a very good job. That's the bottom line. Is we had some opportunities we didn't take advantage of, and when you do that, you put yourself in a position where you can't win a football game, and we did that, and we did it together, and we own that, and the biggest thing for us to do is move forward and go. We can dwell on it and talk about it, but it's not going. We can't go back and change it, and that's what I told our kids. And there's no sense in, they know they didn't play their best. They know that we made some mistakes. They know that that we had some opportunities and didn't capitalize, but there's nothing we can do about it now. Just go out and play. We got a big one this week.
Well, let's talk about that one. Star City obviously coming to town. Homecoming week. I know that always throws a little kink into things, but what are you expecting out of the Star City Bulldogs?
Well, they have struggled. There's no question about it. But it looks to me like they are getting better. But anytime, I think they're going to have some confidence coming in after they saw the way we played last Friday night. And obviously, we got to worry about us. We got to go out. We got to do what we do, and we got to make sure we can adjust and we can make plays and we can fit stuff right. And it's been about us this week. I mean, we went back. We've been more physical. Probably more so than we've been in a while here. And our kids are great. Let me say that. They work their tail off. They come to practice every day. They get after it. And it's a lot different than some groups we've had that struggle. This group right here works at it now. They did not want to do that the other night. They did everything in their power. We didn't do a very good job of adjusting. We didn't do a very good job of tackling. That's all, but they came back Sunday night. They understand what's ahead of them, and they work at it. They get after it every day. Every day. We cannot ask for a better group of kids who want to come in here every day and get better. And they're trying to get better. And so, as a coach, that's what I like about it, is like, hey, they understand where we're at. They didn't want it to happen, but it happened. Now let's go get better.
Well, obviously, you're talking about trying to get a little bit more physical. You're talking about just generally in practice this week. Is that kind of what you mentioned?
Yeah, we're not tackling very well. Anybody can see that. We haven't tackled very well since game one. And it's so hard, and AAA rules are you only can have 1 day of contact a week, and because of just everything that's happened over the course of time. Back in the day, we hit every day. But AAA rules change so much over what you can do and what you can't do in practice, and so we're using a bunch of dummy stuff and just stuff that we don't have to hit. And plus you don't want to get anybody hurt. Obviously times have changed from 2012, 13, 14, 15, where you can't do as much contact. But we got to go play, man. We're gonna make it where we play faster. That's number one. We want to play faster. If we make a mistake, we want to make it 100 miles an hour, and we're gonna take the thinking out of it. Hopefully we can do that. You got to think a little bit in football, but we're trying to simplify it even more so where, hey, let's just go play fast.
Anything about homecoming this week that changes your schedule, or you just football's football?
Yeah, football's football, but it's never really bothered us here. As you know, our kids don't go to the parade. We're here on Friday, so after the coronation, it just becomes another Friday. But our kids have done a really good job over the years. However many years I've been here, not letting that be a distraction. And we've always played really well on homecoming, and I don't see anything different Friday night. I think we got a bad taste in our mouth. I think our kids are ready to go play a game, and we're we just need to go play.
Well, Coach, we appreciate your time. Need a big crowd Friday night. We'd love to get a lot of support behind these kids. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Well, Coach, good to be back with you. Huge clutch win Friday night against rival Monticello. I noticed at the end of the game you told the team, I'm kind of paraphrasing, that the opportunity would come, and it sure did. And how proud of you? How proud of the effort that your team put forward are you?
Oh, no doubt. Our kids played extremely hard. We talk about it all the time. Don't let go of the rope, and just stay in it, play each play at a time. And we were down 16-6, and early in the first half we came back. Really missed a field goal there at the end of the game with I don't know how many minutes left, and I just kept telling the kids like, hey, hold on, we're gonna have an opportunity. I told them at halftime, it's gonna come down to the last play. Somebody's gonna have to make a play to make the play of the game, and Blaze made it. Blaze went up and got one, and was able to do that. And it's a credit to all of our kids for not giving up, because it's so easy to do in today's times. Is to something happens bad, something goes against you, and then you kind of drop your head a little bit. But I thought our kids kept fighting and found a way to get the ball back and give us an opportunity to go score.
Can you just take us through kind of that final drive sequence? Obviously a big 4th and long conversion. How did all that unfold?
Well, we get the ball. I probably should have put some guys back on punt return. Really wasn't convinced totally they'd punt right there. I know, it's easy to say that now. 4th and 3. We haven't. We really. They haven't really stopped us. We kind of stopped ourselves a couple of times. Do you give us the ball back right there? Do you not? That was the question I was saying. I felt like if we did get the ball right there, we would go score. So I didn't want to do something. I didn't want to give them something cheap right there for a first down. The punter hit a really good one, probably the best one he's hit, because if you go back and look on film and even in that game, he didn't hit them great. He would punt, we wasn't getting a return anyway. So, at that time I wasn't too concerned about him pinning us deep, and then he ended up pinning us inside of 20. And then we get a 5-yard motion penalty, illegal procedure penalty, kind of missed Blaze. We missed Blaze like 2 plays before we hit Joe on 3rd down. But we ran a little cross action, a little switch action pass, and Jackson gave Joe a chance. Joe made a great catch and really got us in rhythm again. We were kind of out of rhythm right there. Kind of panicked a little bit, honestly, and you can't do that. You can't. That's why I tell our kids all the time. Just stay in the moment. We played so many games here. So many big games that you just got to play. And one of them that stands out to me that we talk about is 2013 Valley View right out here. They're driving to win the game, or to win the game, or they're up. All they got to do is get a first down in semifinals, and all they got to do is get a first down, and that they end up running, and Calix Harris strips the guy on the 2-yard line. We go 98 yards in a minute and 20 seconds. We haven't had offense all night, and then all of a sudden we find it. And we talk about stuff like that. Hey, just don't let go of the rope. Hey, somebody's gonna make a play. Just believe it, and our kids do. And our kids kept playing, and they played the play. And you look back, we still do so much stuff, man. We do so many things that we gave them 2 4th down conversions that led to touchdowns. That we got to clean up, and I think once we do that, maybe we're gonna put ourselves in that kind of situation. But obviously, our kids played hard. That they kept fighting, and they found a way.
Monticello was big. I think in the last drive, at least, they were playing with maybe 3 safeties. Just your offensive line's performance, Jackson, Blaze running the route, it all kind of came together. But what did you see on that final play?
Well, on the final play, we had what we call X photo, and that's a read route by. If you go back to last year, we killed them with read routes. Where we would go, 12 yards to our inside guys and sit down. And Tremont had like 12 catches for, a bunch of yards. And so this year our big play was we're going to do something off that. We knew they would work on that, so we threw post routes behind the set down. So we had Joe on the set down, which they came out and they was playing man under. They was trying to double cover Joe. That's how they started the game out, was double covering Joe. Well, we knew going in that if we ran read route that safety was going to hesitate and we could get Blaze behind him. Well, they switched safeties on us. They put number 6 in the game, which he's not been out there. So that really made me want to throw, because it's hard. It's hard to go out there and play, and when you haven't played much. And so really wasn't a great call at the time. It was just giving a chance for a guy to go make a play, and that's what we did with Blaze. We knew that that whenever they switched that safety in there, we wanted to go at him, just because it's hard for any good player to go out there. I remember Traylon trying to do it against Little Rock Christian. Even though he's a great athlete, putting him back there at safety is totally different.
Talk about your defense. Obviously kept you in the ball game a few times, just making some stops when they had to make them. Yeah,
no doubt. And we bent, it didn't break. Like I said earlier, we got a couple penalties on 4th down. We got one on 4th down I thought was real touchy on a pass interference on our sideline on 4th and 12. That gave him a touchdown. And then the pass interference in the end zone, which that was pass interference. And then on 4th and 8. On 4th and 9, we talked all week about, hey, man, know where 5 is, know where 5 is, know where 5 is. And all of a sudden 5's running wide open down the middle of the field. That was discouraging. We know that's their go-to guy in that situation. I guess we didn't do a very good job related to our kids because, he came wide open. But we wanted to know where he was, and we should have had bodies on him. He might have still made a great catch, but he wouldn't have been wide open. But, our kids, it just... They were so big up front. They double teamed us. They our kids just kept fighting and kept fighting and kept fighting. And we give up one big play, the screen play in the first half. We didn't fit it right. We had a couple guys there that didn't make a tackle, and I thought we did play better on defense. I thought our tackling was a little bit better. I thought that our fits were a little bit better. But I still think we got a ways to go. We're not close to where we can be. Our kids know that. We just got to keep working. We got a lot of inexperience out there, and it shows at times. But the thing about it, and I said this from week one, they're going to play hard, they're going to fight, and they're going to be fun to watch. And I think that's true.
Well, the fight continues this week on the road at Hamburg. What are you expecting out of the Lions?
I mean, they're really good. You know, they mercy ruled Monticello. They beat Monticello 55-20. Nykel Lewis is probably one of the better backs we'll see. We've seen some really good backs, man. We saw the kid at Greenbrier who's still running, you know, and then we saw the kid from DeWitt, the Graham kid. Then we saw, you know, number 6 last week, who's really good, really fast. Now we see another one. Nykel Lewis he's got great moves. He's real fast. They got a great quarterback. I mean, he's been starting since he's a ninth grader. Him and Jackson both started as freshmen. They're both juniors right now, and you know, he's very electric. He's very fast. You know, and then they got 2 wideouts that can go get it. So they're going to be playing more balanced than we've seen the last few weeks as far as you know, what they can do offensively. They got a home run hitter in their running back, and then, you know, obviously their quarterback can run, and then they got 2 wideouts that can go get it. And so, you know, we got to be better. I mean, I'm just being real. We got to be better than we were last week. We got to fit better. We got to tackle better, and we got to do all them things. And then offensively, we got to get more consistent. We can't drive like we did the first drive and have offensive linemen step wrong and we give up for a negative play. And then all of a sudden it's 2nd and 14. And you know, we're not very good at overcoming them types of plays this year. It seems like it's happening more so than it's happened here. But and then we go down there again there in the second half, and we got a screen called, and it looks like it's supposed to be great, and our right guard misses. You know, he blocks run. Well, that messes the whole string up. So we've got to fix that. We've got to fix that because it's happening in big moments. It's costing us points, and we can't afford to do that Friday night if we want to stay in the ball game. But I expect our kids to go out and play hard. I think they're going to practice hard. They're going to do everything they can to get ready, and we just got to go play.
Well, Coach, I know supporters will be there cheering you on. We wish you the best Friday.
Yes, and we had a great crowd Friday night. I mean, that was fun. You know, hopefully we can do the same thing this Friday night at Hamburg and pack their stadium.
Thank you, Coach. We appreciate your time.
All righty.